What's going on, YouTube? It's your man Griff, and we got a tricky ride this week. Listen, do me a favor, hop in the passenger seat, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. It helps promote the video so that more people can see it, and let's roll. All right, let's get right into it, guys. Listen, folks are gonna start getting shaken off these lists. And when I say these lists, I'm talking about a Z06 list, and I'm also talking about the Stingray list. Here's why I say this. Hardship cases, okay? You've got a lot of stuff going on in the world, okay? A lot of stuff's been going on since COVID. A lot of things have been going on since folks placed their initial reservation. You have job loss. You have folks that have placed a reservation for a vehicle when everything was great, and then unfortunately they may have lost their job, okay? If they were to get that call and that email, it may constitute a need for them to forego their order and say, you know what? I can no longer purchase this car, okay? It's gonna happen. Shaken off the list. Another situation, as unfortunate as it sounds, divorce. There are folks that have put reservations down, and from the time they've placed their reservation to where we are now, things may not have gone so well in a relationship, right? Now you're unfortunately getting a divorce. Can't move forward with getting this car. Doesn't make financial sense. Shaken off the list. College tuition, okay? I've seen folks that have been on reservation lists for well over a year before they can even order a car, okay? Kid was a sophomore in high school when you put a reservation or a deposit down. Now the kid's a senior, kid's getting ready to go to college. Life has changed, your circumstances have changed. You can no longer move forward with buying this expensive car. Shaken off the list. Another thing that's going on for those of us that are following the markets, potential interest rate hikes, okay? Which leads into budgeting, right? You have a conversation with your significant other and you say, hey, car's gonna cost $1,000 a month. This is the budget. You both agree we can't do anything more than that. 1,000 is the cap. Well, guess what? You've based that around a certain interest rate, a certain amount of borrowing. Now the rates have gone up a little bit, right? Or potential hikes. Now, money costs more to borrow. So guess what? That $1,000 a month now turns into $1,150. You didn't budget for that. So it takes you off your mark. Shaken off the list, okay? And with all these shake-offs, guys, what do you think is gonna happen? When the call goes out and says, hey, we're ready to order your car, if you're not ready to order or you can't order or you have to back out, guess what? It goes down the list. It starts going down to the next person, okay? So another thing that's happening right now is the MSRP commitments. I see a ton of this stuff on social media where folks have verbally committed to MSRP, but then when it comes time for folks to actually place their order and put their deposit down, seems as if the rules have changed a little bit. You know, the dealers maybe are saying we need to add ADM, and I'm not suggesting every dealer is doing this, but I'm seeing a lot of this on social media, so there are some dealers that are doing it. Verbally committed to MSRP, and now that it's time to move forward, things have changed a little bit. So again, it goes back to budgeting. There are folks who didn't budget for that increase because they were verbally committed MSRP. It takes them off their mark. They're gonna get shaken off the list. You have folks that are not gonna move forward with any increases over principal alone. It's going to shake them off the list, okay? So now let me tell you what Griff would suggest you do. But before I do that, check this out. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and every click counts. Really appreciate it. All right, I appreciate everybody that has subscribed to this channel. For those of you that are not subscribed, I encourage you guys to do so. I post content once or twice a week, primarily Corvette info, giving people information on how we need to proceed as we wait for the orders for these particular vehicles, okay? Now with that being said, here are Griff's suggestions and what you do as these folks are getting shaken off this list, all right? Number one, make sure you have your deposit ready, okay? The last thing you wanna do is not be prepared for that when you get that email and that phone call that says, hey, we're ready to build your car, and you don't have the $5,000 to wire or take down or however you're gonna manage your deposit. You wanna make sure that you're completely ready. If you have it, put it to the side. You never know when that call is gonna come through. Put your money to the side and be prepared with your deposit. Number two, make sure that your financing is in order. If you're gonna pay for the car cash, kudos to you. If you're gonna be financing the car, investigate what bank you think you're gonna go with now. Start getting that stuff prepared, because again, when it's time to move, you guys don't wanna hold anything up. And number 3, make sure you know what your build spec is gonna be, okay? It's very important. When I put my reservation down, I actually built out 3 different cars. It took me a little bit to kind of narrow down colors, but I whittled it down to 3 different specs. 3 colors, 3 specs. I've been staring at these things on a weekly basis. So when I do get the call, I've already narrowed down which spec I'm gonna go with, okay? So you want to be prepared when you get the call and you get the email. Guys, these orders are starting to come up quicker and quicker because folks are getting shaken off both of these lists, okay? They haven't introduced pricing for the 2023s yet, meaning the Stingray or the Z06, but it's coming very, very soon. And when that happens, these calls are gonna start to go out. So you absolutely wanna be prepared. I'm gonna give you guys a simple example, okay? COVID. During the holidays, people were racing to places to get tested. Everybody wanted to get tested before the holidays because they didn't want to infect their family members. They wanted to get together, okay? You want to go get a test, you go online, you fill out some paperwork, you go down to the testing facility. The lines were around the building in my area, okay, during the holidays. However, I filled out my paperwork online. Get online, there's 10, 15 people ahead of me before they get to the staging area where the person is actually taking insurance information. Well, guess what? 10 to 15 people ahead of me, somebody filled out no paperwork. So what do? They move that person to the side and they let the rest of us go by while the person is now on their cell phone filling out the stuff online, okay? 10, 15 people just passed that person, okay? The same situation happens with your dealership, okay? If a dealer has 20 people to call, right? Because it's time for them to place their orders. He's looking at 20 people that they have to call. Calls the number 1 person on the list. They don't pick up. They don't hear from them for a day or 2. Okay, whatever. 2 through 20 respond. They respond immediately. They send their deposits. They send their bill spec in. The number 1 person who got the call first finally calls back on day 2, okay? They say, hey, I got the call. I'm ready to move. Dealership tells them the same thing. Build your car out, send in a deposit. Oh, well, I'm not really sure what color I want. I've been thinking about this. I've been going back and forth. The number 1 individual that got called first takes 4 days to get their information back to the dealer. Well, guess what? 2 through 20 are already processed through the system, okay? So now 3 months later, when the cars start coming in, the very first guy who got that call is now wondering, where's my car? Why are all these other guys getting their car before me? Because they were prepared and you were not, okay? It's not just this one dealer that we're waiting for here, guys. You've got a nationwide system of dealerships. So when you delay your particular order and you're one of 20 on your salesperson's list, guess what? There's a ton of people around the country getting the same call. So you want to be prepared when you get that call if you want to get that car in your driveway or in your garage as soon as possible. Let's face it, we've all been waiting long enough. Why delay the process when that call comes in? All right? This is your man Griff. I hope this information has been beneficial. Make sure you have your ducks in a row, and I'll catch you guys next week.